Hi everybody, I'm Nikita, the founder of I'm Resilient, and I'm here to teach you a yoga for sleep routine. So why do we sleep? We have so many things going on in our brains and in our bodies when we sleep. We are replenishing ourselves, nourishing ourselves. We have neuroplasticity happening, the pruning of old neurons and the growth of new ones. We basically have a garden going on in our brain. And it will be really essential to keep our mental health and our physical health optimal while we go through this pandemic and beyond. So one thing I do want to talk about is creating a sleep routine. So our body, even if our mind doesn't know, our body knows routine. So if we do the same thing each day in the hours leading up to when we sleep, it'll train ourselves to get ready for sleep when we do those things. Naturally, our bodies fall into a place with less cortisol in the evening. We have more cortisol in the morning. Cortisol is a stress hormone that provides us with activation. So naturally, we will be less activated in the evening time. And because of that, we want to keep our cortisol low and focus on practices that decrease cortisol. We really want to tap into our parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest, the slowing of the heart rate, the slowing of the blood pressure, and really being able to sink down into relaxation so that when we go and put our heads to our pillows, we can fall asleep. So this is essential. I will not include any handstands or any back bends in this practice, and it will just be a quick practice that you can do before you go to bed. I do recommend doing the same practice every day, whether you listen to a video or not, and that will become part of your ritual, your routine. You may also want to include having a cup of warm water, taking a bath, and turning off your light, your screen, dimming the lights in your house a couple hours before bed. All of those things will help our circadian rhythm and our body to understand that it's time to sleep. So it all seems so simple, but it makes a big, big difference. So come to your mat, and we are actually going to begin in child's pose. So you can bring your knees wide if it's comfortable for you. And then stretch your hips back towards your toes and bring your palms and your fingers out in front of you. Allow your head to lower to the floor and then relax your elbows to the floor. Spread your fingers wide on your mat and really stretch your palms away from you. Allow the activation of the hands and the stretching of the arms to bring some length to the spine, length through the armpits. It may feel good, especially if you've been sitting at a desk and rounding your shoulders down. And then we'll take 5 slow, deep breaths here. And you may notice your mind is very busy. And rather than labeling that good or bad or forcing it to stop, just notice that this awareness is part of the practice. It is beneficial to be aware. And know that your practice will support you. Fill the belly fully on the inhale and empty completely on the exhale. On your inhale, bring some weight into your hands and we'll just walk them over to the left-hand side if you can walk them off the mat. And then tack down the right hip towards the right heel. Lower the head to the floor and stretch the right arm forward even more. Take a full breath here, make it slow and long. And then see if you can relax the elbows, the shoulder, everything down heavy to the mat. Take one more slow breath here. If you can, lengthen all of the exhales. Lengthen the breath on the exhale. Inhale, come up, walk your hands over to the opposite side. Tuck down the left hand, the left hip goes towards the left heel. And then find length in the left side body. By lengthening the exhale, you stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. You decrease the stress. You come to a rest and digest stage where your body can begin to heal, begin to repair itself, begin to digest the food that's there, and digest the thoughts, the information you took in through the day. One more breath. And on your inhale, come all the way back to center, stretch your palms forward. One more time, lower your head. Take one breath here. Good, and then walk your hands back towards your hips. You can draw your knees together here, and we will just bring our arms all the way overhead. Gaze towards the fingertips, and allow them to fall by your hips. Good, we'll do that twice more. Inhale. And exhale, trying to bring your hands down slowly with the breath. Good, inhale. And exhale. Really reaching the hands out, allowing the belly to empty completely. Beautiful. And then bring your hands forward. We are going to place our palms on the floor, step both feet back, and then we'll step our right foot in between our hands. We'll pause here for a breath. So inhale fully and exhale. Good. Option to keep the knee off the floor or lower the knee to the floor, untuck the toes. And then if you'd like to, you can bring your hands to your front thigh. Here we will take 3 breaths. Allow the shoulders to roll towards the spine if you'd like to lift the chest forward. Good. And see if you can make your exhale audible, so as if there was a slight constriction of the throat. Good. Bring your hands to the mat. We'll tuck the back toe if it's untucked. Step the right foot back to meet the left, and then step the left foot in between the palms. Again, we'll pause here, take a breath. You may notice some stiffness in your hip flexors. You can stay here a little longer if you need. And notice if your breath begins to tense up when you feel that resistance, when you feel that tightness in your leg, and see if you can make the breaths longer or back off from the pose. Lower the knee, untuck the toe if it's comfortable for you, and bring your hands to the front thigh. Press down with your hands and allow that to create some space for your chest to pull forward. Good. Root into the baby toes of the right foot and all corners of your front foot. Find those slow breaths, relaxing on the exhale. One more breath. Good. We'll bring our hands down, tuck the back toe, but this time step the back foot forward, and then bring the feet wider than hip width distance. Toes point out towards the edges of the mat. Sit down into a squat, and bring your hands to heart center. Beautiful. Option to close the eyes here. By doing yoga before bed, you may have an increase in your circulation, which actually can reduce pain. If you have pain, typically when you're sleeping, you wake up with pain. Good. You can bring your hands to the floor. We'll come to a seated position. So stretch your feet out in front of you. And then allow your feet to fall passively and bring your hands to your thighs or behind your back. You can roll your shoulders back, whatever is comfortable for you, and close your eyes. Try to keep a lengthening of the spine. And imagine if somebody was pulling a string from the top of your head, really lengthening through that spine, and allow that length to be the main focus effort of this pose, and allow everything else to relax. Allow the knees to relax, the hands, the shoulders. One more breath. Good. Now begin to point your toes, and we'll bring our hands all the way up on the inhale. Exhale, begin to fold forward, hinging at the hips. And then allow yourself to round forward. If you'd like to, you can grab hold of the feet if it's accessible to you. You can use a strap, or you can just have your arms alongside you. Try to relax the shoulders. And we'll take 4 slow breaths. And when you're ready, come all the way up to a seated position. Beautiful. And we'll plant our feet on the ground and just allow the knees to fall to one side and then the other side. You may want to link this with your breath. So exhale, fall. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, fall. Inhale, back to center. Beautiful. Come to lying on your back, please. And we will draw our knees into our chest. Take a big breath here. Inhaling, squeeze the thighs in towards the chest. Exhaling, release. And then separate the knees. If you can, take hold of the big toes or the outer edges of the feet. If it's not accessible to you, you can hold the knees in and just squeeze them in towards your armpits. Beautiful. Such an amazing hip opener. And breathe into the full space between your legs. Fill your belly. Take 2 more deep breaths. Good. You can release the bind of your feet if you have it. Draw your knees once more into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Beautiful. And then we'll lengthen our arms out to the sides and allow the Knees to fall all the way over to the left hand side. If you'd like to, you can place your left hand on the outer edge of the right leg and gaze off towards your right hand. Close your eyes. You may notice your tummy begin to make noises. It is a good indicator that you are digesting. When you're ready, begin to draw your knees into the chest, extend the left arm back out, allow the knees to fall all the way over to the right side. Place the right hand on the outer edge of that left thigh, gaze off towards the left. Close your eyes, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Focus on the lengthening of the exhale. And focus on releasing any muscles that you're holding on to that are not keeping you in this pose. Any unnecessary tension. Good. Draw your knees back into your chest and then release them long on the mat. We will begin to do a mindfulness activity in Shavasana. You may want to bring one hand to your chest and one hand to your belly, or you may want to stretch your arms out beside you. Wherever you are, allow your body to take up space. So separate your feet, separate your hands if they're beside you, and close your eyes and relax the muscles of your face. Relax your temple and your jaw. Relax the tongue in your mouth. Relax the shoulders, the arms, the hands, the fingers. Relax the abdomen, the diaphragm, the pelvis. Relax the legs, the feet, and the toes. Feel your whole body supported by the earth beneath you. Feel yourself heavy, sinking into the floor. Allow the natural movement of breath, the nourishing long exhales. If you would like to stay here, feel free. Otherwise, wiggle your fingers and toes and comfortable seated position. You can draw your hands into heart center, pressing your thumbs into your sternum, and bow your chin toward your hands. Give yourself a moment of gratitude for taking the time to nourish your health. Thank you. Namaste. Have a great sleep.